Welcome back, coaches. Coach Nation live and at you again. Welcome to today's show. Why am I not a millionaire yet? Eric, I made $10,000 my first month. Why am I broke now? I can't get past 5K. What do I do?
Right before we started filming this, me and Jason were just having a conversation. And that's why we're really inspired to do this particular episode.
Come on.
Going back to what you were just saying, Jason, a lot of that, equates to the perceived notions that we're failures. And we were just talking about that because as me and Jason have seen success and, we've been doing this for a long time, where I think it's really easy to kind of lose sight of that and see how far you come, where it's just now I'm like, oh, but I'm not here yet. I should be doing this. And then we start thinking like, man, I was really successful at this point. And going back to what you're saying, like as a fitness coach, you're not going to have 5-6 figure months all the time. Right. If you have already gotten there. If you haven't gotten there yet, right? I'll tell you right now, the best feeling that I've ever had was when I made my first month over 10K.
Right.
It was unreal. And I didn't think it was possible before that.
Right. Broke through something in your own life.
It was crazy. From that, you got to be realistic at the same time, because then I started seeing like this was actually fairly simple. I was able to do that. Okay, cool. I can do this every month. I can do 30K. I can do 40K, right? And it's extremely possible. It's not that that's wrong, but what happens on the slow months? Because there's always slow months, right? So what happens when I'm making 2K the following month? I'm like, what the heck happened? And so the mentality that goes in, behind the entrepreneur, behind the business person, the person that's selling something, right? Especially if you just committed to doing that. You left your job, you're just doing coaching, you're just doing whatever your business is, right? And from there, it's just like all this negative talk starts coming into play. We hear these voices. It's like, oh, yeah, you're a failure. You shouldn't have done it. Come on. You just wasted your time. You wasted your investment. You just made a mistake. Go back to your 9-to-5 job. You're not supposed to be doing this. And then a lot of times we believe it. And now we start thinking, okay, because of that, I'm a failure. So I need to start looking at the other things. Okay, I need paid ads. And we start forgetting about the fundamentals and the basic things.
Oh, I love that.
Right? Now I'm like, Jason, now I got to go find somebody that does paid ads. No, I need to go find somebody that's going to build my system for me. I just do calls. I always got to be looking for the next and best thing. And to some things, it's applicable, but we really want to talk about why business is fundamental. It's all about fundamentals.
That's right. And I love what you said. I want to highlight this point about that perception and then what it leads to. Because
please do.
I think a lot of people have this expectation, especially in the knowledge or information realm, right? Where you're buying coaching that, oh, I'm going to pay for this program and this program is going to give me a system and the system is going to show my process to create this recurring revenue. And it's just going to be a straight line. Every month I'm going to make 10,000, 11,000, 12,000. When the reality is people don't really understand the numbers. And again, the point you made, business is fundamental. If you will go back to the basics, like business is not new. Yeah. This is the most fundamental thing that we do in America. Yeah. Right? And again, if you guys haven't heard me talk about this before, business is a fancy word, in my opinion, for a well-maintained relationship.
Wow.
The difference between a business and a traditional relationship is that there is the connotation of a transaction attached. Even in my personal family relationships, there's transaction, right? But it's not necessarily a programming. It is a transaction of, hey, would you mind helping me take out the trash? Can we exchange this for that? Hey, I'm going to meet your need. And I have a reasonable expectation for you to meet my need. But even if you don't, I'm going to go out of my way to continue to meet your need because I love you. I've chosen or I've committed to you. That's tongue in cheek in a way, because some of us, we don't have great relationships with our families. So I'm not necessarily talking about the family of origin as much as the family of choice.
Wow.
And that could be the people you're born into if you choose to maintain a healthy relationship when you're out of their home. More importantly, this is the people that you do life with regularly, the people that are speaking into you, that you are receiving from or growing and building with. I love this quote. Life moves at the speed of relationships.
Wow.
As business owners, we get caught in this cycle, this hamster wheel of life moves at the speed of my business. If my business is doing good, then I'm doing good. Wow. If my business is doing bad, then I'm doing bad.
Yeah.
And just what you said, it creates this cycle of, well, if this isn't working, I need to change this. So I'm going to go look over here for what I need. But now I'm in an area of incompetence. So I'm not only not competent, but now I have no confidence because I'm incompetent. So now I'm in this loop of incompetence. If I'm saying that right? On this wheel, chasing a solution that is leading me to more problems.
Yeah.
And in the coaching space in general, that's what you're going to see in this world. I'm going to sell you a solution and by default give you a new problem.
Wow.
And that's the ascension that I can use to sell you into my program.
Yeah.
And this is I hate to say it, but this is the kind of behavior that has penetrated the fitness industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
A great example of this, if we look at like crypto, we talk about this a lot. And I'm into crypto, but what I'm not into is the massive influencer Ponzi scheme pool that it has turned into.
Yep.
Like, I'm sure there are amazing projects, but I can't find them anymore, right? Because there's so much inundation with this nonsense curated information for people to build up a quick value and pull out the rug from a bunch of people. And we're seeing this like every week right now. People are getting taken for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Hundreds of life savings are being lost.
Yeah.
We do not want that in the fitness space.
Yeah.
So business as fundamental, business as basic. If I was to take away, and I'll talk to our viewers from this standpoint, if I was to take away everything they think they need, right? If I took away your laptop, your cell phone, if I took away your gym membership, if I took away your weights, most people would be in a state of panic. They don't know what to do. If I took away your Facebook ads, shut down your LinkedIn, turned off your Instagram and your TikTok,
man.
oh my God, I can't do business.
That's it.
I'm done. I'm ruined. I'm like, what would they have done 40 years ago?
Going back to the very first thing that you pushed out, talking about, relating it to like a relationship, I think it's such a powerful analogy that I really don't want you guys to take for granted. Like, when you hear that, really try to apply that. And I really want to harp on that because it's powerful in my life too. As somebody who grew up not knowing what a healthy relationship is. Within my house, within personal relationships, whether it's intimate or just, with friends, I didn't have that foundation. And even now, right, I'm still learning, but a lot of it comes down to, for me, like when I've experienced like heartache in relationships, it's just like, oh, no, this doesn't work. I need to end it. And I've really come to understand, it's just like, just because it's hard doesn't mean that I need to be pulling away.
So good.
It means like, okay, well, what's the problem? All right. And what is the solution? Cool. Are we back to basics, right? Am I talking to you enough? Am I listening enough? Am I spending enough time with you? Am I doing my due diligence, right? And when was the last time that I gave you attention? When's the last time that I made time for you?
Brilliant.
Basic things. And I'm really learning that stuff and seeing is how it relates to business. We have to go back to understanding what worked well and why did it work well.
That's a very important point.
100%.
And honestly, as we're talking about basics, you highlighted some things that I think are natural for you that may not be as natural for some of the younger business owners. As in, you identified what is the problem. By asking that question, my brain is going to give me an answer. But then you took it a step further, and I feel like this is where most people drop the ball. What is the solution? Most people will stay hyper-focused on the problem, which we talk about creating that endless loop of problems. Very few people will go to what is the solution, and more importantly, have the tenacity and the perseverance to stick with it until they find the solution.
Yeah, just because I had a bad month doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Right.
It comes back to this. All right, so if the first month I made $12K, cool, what did I do? If I launched a challenge and I was doing 30 calls a week, I closed 4 clients at $3K, whatever the price point is. All this is an example. Right. So then I get to see like how many calls I did. And so if I did 30 calls a week and I closed 1 call, so I look at my ratio, right, between having calls and closing. Now I can do the math. Cool. So it'll take me this amount of calls to close. The following month where I had a bad month, I did 5 calls a week and I didn't close 1. Or maybe I just closed 1 at the end of the month, right? Those are things you have to look at. Oh, it's not that this doesn't work. Let me look at, the basic things. Did I do this many calls? Did I reach out to this many people? Did I not post as much content? Was I not engaging? What did I do that worked well? And what can I expand on? Having the understanding, I knew that as a coach, as a fitness coach, that there were going to be slow months. A lot of it was like towards the end of the year because it's holiday season. Right. It was always a slower time, and like kind of the spring time for me. A lot of people may be like, oh, springtime was great, but I just saw those 2 constant for me, and the rest of the year was booming. And I knew that like when I didn't give as much attention to it, when I didn't treat it as much, it wasn't as strong, and that's okay. That's okay. And a really good example is like us when we started this business, right? We still have our other businesses going, right? My other business, I wasn't getting as many clients coming in because I knew that. And I knew that was going to happen because I'm like, that's okay. I'm okay with that because I know that I'm putting my focus into this new project and I'm putting all of it there. And so I'm going to maintain what I have. I'm not going to freak out because I'm not magically getting all these clients. What did I not do? Okay, cool. I didn't do that. Back to basics. So again, these are my normal statistics. I need to at least do this.
This is so brilliant. And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here.
Please do.
We're not necessarily in the phase where we're teaching people how to scale what they have at the moment. But when you go to scale, that is a very important aspect.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
We call them KPIs, key performance indicators.
Yes.
I need to know what my KPIs are. In other words, and I love this, if I measure it, it will increase.
Yeah.
And that was a lesson that we're still learning today with our other businesses. So this last week, even yesterday, up till 4 o'clock this morning, I was working on one of our other projects, and I had an emergency situation where we couldn't get something fulfilled. We finally got it figured out. The main part of it was the people involved. If I hadn't put this process together, literally within the last week, they would not know what to measure and what to respond to.
That's good.
Because this was in place, pretty much the team was able to handle this, throw in my little 2 cents here and there, but the team mostly was able to handle this.
Wow.
And now they're operating this week. I can't even remember the percentage, but it is like almost 3 times more efficiently than we were last week. With the only thing that changes an Excel spreadsheet with a process on it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. To that point, one, what you measure increases. When you're thinking in the long game, that perspective is so critical because again, what is a bad month? What is a bad day? And just for simple math, let's say I have a project or a business that I'm running for 1 year, January to December. I make no dollars January, February, March, April, May, all the way through December. And then in December, I make 120K. I just averaged 10K a month for 12 months.
Yep.
And so that is the perspective that people tend to forget.
Yeah.
Well, I did this last month, it worked, this month it didn't.
Yep.
But where's the commitment?
Yep.
Right? Again, for 11 months straight, I can take a loss. And then in the 12th month, make up for the whole year.
Yep.
And you say, well, coach, is that realistic though? I say, look at Amazon.
There you go.
Operated at a loss for 20 years and then became the richest man overnight, basically.
And I think that's so brilliant. I think it's all about perspective. From that, it's kind of understanding what needs to happen. Just as we were talking more so about like people that are already maybe in the game and wondering like, I've been doing this and I'm not there yet, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a millionaire yet. Let's kind of rewind and go back to people who are just starting.
Yeah.
If maybe you're just starting and you're making 1 to 3K a month, whatever the case is, right? Or making nothing a month, whatever it is. Again, I think it's all about perspective. But if you feel like there's a lot that I need to learn when it comes to system processes, right? There is a story that I would love for you to share.
Oh man.
Just a really good analogy. You're talking about the pizza story. That really kind of sums up what creates a successful business. So if you can share that, I think they need to hear it.
And honestly, guys, it is a very simple example that anyone can relate to. You just think about the last time you were in a room with 3 or 4 of your friends. If you wanted to order a pizza, how would you do it? The process you would go through is the same thing you would use to build a business. One, you have a group of people interested in something. How do you know that? Well, in this case, they're your friends. In other words, you've built a relationship. You know what their interests are. You know what they would or would not generally like.
Key is relationships, guys.
So now that I'm in relationship, I can position myself as an authority figure. And it could be with a question like, hey guys, are you hungry? Now all attention's on me. Would you guys be opposed to getting pizza? Now I'm introducing ideas to get feedback from my followers, my friends, right? These people I'm in relationship with.
Yep. Asking questions, surveys, polls.
Like finding out again, what offer can I make, right?
What do they want?
I know what I want, but I need to figure out what they want. I want pizza.
So good.
I want pizza. I know they want to eat, but I need to figure out what do they want to eat. We have a lot of options out here.
You mean it's not about what you want, Jason? It's about what other people want?
I could take that position. Hey guys, I want pizza, so we're getting pizza. Now, how do you think my friends are going to respond to that?
I hope you guys are hearing this.
Right? And you guys think about how would your friends respond? Like, okay, go get pizza. We'll see you later, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe they do want pizza and they're just like, yeah, whatever you're doing, I'm going to do it too. There are some people like that.
Right.
I have this network of people now that I can get feedback from. Oh, if we don't do pizza, what do you feel? Chinese, Korean, American, burgers? What do you want? Oh, okay. Now I have this network of information. As I start to connect with these people, in my case, I'm going to tell a story. Guys, this pizza, you don't understand. It is unreal. Last time I went to this pizza place, I took my girlfriend. We were on a date. Or I took my wife, and it was amazing the first time we had it. The crust melts in your mouth. The cheese is so light. The pepperoni so high quality, whatever. So these stories are now, they can feel it. They can taste it. Now I'm putting this in their head. They really want pizza at this point.
Wow.
And again, I'm being transparent. Hey guys, I'm thinking pizza. You guys opposed? Is there anything you're thinking? What do you want? Last time I had it, it was great.
And you know because you've asked and because you've seen the people you have relationship with that you've been nurturing, you've seen what they've said.
Because I didn't walk up to their Facebook account, kick their door open and say, hey, bro, I want pizza and you guys are going to get it for me right now. Let's get pizza.
You want pizza, right? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. You need this
You
pizza.
look like
Let
you
me
need
tell
pizza.
you how good this pizza is for you right now. This is why you need this pizza.
It's like, bro, I don't know anything about pizza.
I'm a vegetarian, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I should ask first, huh?
Yeah.
Just to that point, and again, it's perspective. Building a business, it can be hard if you want it to be hard. It can be simple if you want it to be simple, but it's all about perspective. For the new business owner who's like, I've been doing this for 6 months, Eric, and I had a good month when I started, but now I'm only making 2 or 3K a month. I can't seem to break through. In his mind, he's a failure. He's struggling. He's an imposter. He's a fake. He doesn't know his value. And then over here, I've got a friend in LA who comes into our group and she's, oh my gosh, guys, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm freaking out. My life is over. Why? What's going on? I've only got 20K left in the bank. Okay. What do you want to do? Oh, I have no idea. That's not enough to do anything. Well, I mean, again, perspective. One guy's here with 2K a month. Like, guys, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I'm struggling. This one's here. Like, I've only got 20K. I'm at the bottom. What do I do?
Right.
Who's having a bad day?
Yep.
Right.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And at the end of it all, even if that is the worst case for both of them, can they think about someone within their circle that's having a worse day?
Yep.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Look out your window, drive down the street.
This goes back to what we're saying. Having the long game mentality.
Got to.
Relationships take time. They take nurturing. Please listen.
Come
all right.
on.
If you're just seeing the people that you're trying to service, again, service is a key word.
Come on.
As a big dollar sign.
That's the one night stand in the club.
Yeah. Right?
I don't get married to that person. right?
Yeah, exactly. What do? You probably don't call that person back. Right? You probably got stories you can tell your friends, but
Might have been a good time that you'll never have again.
right, there's no investment there.
Right.
When you just see that person as a big dollar sign, there's no relationship, and people know. People are not stupid.
That's right.
They can tell when you're just trying to sell and when you don't want to build a relationship. They can tell by the way you talk to them, right? The things that you're saying, the content you're pushing out. Now you are eliminating your good quality network.
Wow.
People are frustrated when I have one conversation with somebody and they haven't bought into my program.
Right.
It sometimes that'll work when you reach a certain point,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
When you reach a certain point, but in the beginning you may have seen some success, but to be honest, it's not how it is.
Right.
Why in the world am I gonna give you $3,000 after, and some people charge more, right? Why am I gonna give you $6,000, $10,000 after one conversation? There are people that will come to you months down the road because you haven't nurtured them yet.
Right.
People need to feel safe with you. They need to feel that they can trust you. And if you're not willing to build those relationships, you will have nothing, right? You will not have anything. You'll have something you do part-time.
Right.
Right? And that's what you need to understand.
An expensive hobby, I call it.
That's so good.
It's like people get into business like, oh, well, I don't need to make money. It's not about the money. Then it's not a business.
It's not a business.
Like a business exists to make money. Like no disrespect. I mean, that's the principle of the entity. Yeah. Now you can have a non-profit organization, right? Which is, it has to make money, but it shows no profit at the end.
Yeah.
Versus an expensive hobby.
1,000%.
Golf is an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
I love to do it. It's going to cost me a lot of money unless I do it professionally.
Yeah.
And golf pays me.
I don't know why there's a lot of people that are terrified of taking in money. And it's okay to do that because you're giving something that you believe in. You're giving a product back. Money is not the master. There's a lot of people who treat it as their master, right?
That's true.
But it doesn't have to be your master.
Right.
And you can try to get people to understand that. It's not always about money. However, and I want to close with this, going back to understanding that you are a servant.
Very good.
You are servicing people. Go back to your why. I'll tell you right now, if you go into this game, like I'm doing this so I can make crazy money, buy cars. I'll tell you right now, when the mentality is in the right place, you will attract those things.
That's right.
Because you're not chasing after it. How can you attract your wife when you're chasing after her? What relationships start when it's just like, I'm obsessed with going through every single girl to figure out who's going to end up being my wife? It doesn't work like that, right? At least for me, every relationship that I've been in, they naturally happen. I don't go looking for it, but it's because I have an open mind. Like, I'm going to meet that girl when I meet that girl, right? And so you have to understand you are a servant. And if your why is in the right place, I'm doing this to help people.
That's a good point
right
there.
And if I want to help people at such a high rate, I need cash. I need money. I need capital, right? So that way I have access to resources. You can't go and build a school in Guatemala if you do not have the funds to get people there, if you do not have the funds for the material. You need money to be able to help people at a high capacity. So stop being so scared of charging, stop being so terrified of taking in money, and know that you're doing this to help them. The more money that you take in, the more you can bless and service other people, versus making your $1,000 a month. You're hurting people.
Wow.
You are crippling people.
Wow.
And you are pushing down the possibility of you reaching those people that need you, right? Because if you went through your business and you were able to help just 5 people through your 20 years of training, and let's say you worked with hundreds of thousands of people, you worked with 5 people that, if it weren't for you, would have committed suicide, would have ended their life or done something horrible to themselves. But because of you and your ability to see past the dollar sign and serve, you've now impacted people in ways that you didn't even think was possible, because you didn't make it about you.
So good.
You made it about them. And that's really, really powerful. I think that's a good close.
Mic drop. Yeah, I got nothing. That is perfect.
This is powerful stuff, guys. So don't be hard on yourselves. You know, we're learning that too. We're right there with you. And I hope you guys took a lot from this. If you guys enjoy this, please leave a comment in the comment section. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you are listening to this on a podcast, please make sure that you share this with people that you know is going to impact. And we love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next episode.
Later, coaches.